Hello and welcome to JSB Talks Digital, the podcast for marketers, bloggers, business owners, and those of you bringing your skills into the digital age. I'm Joanne Sweeney-Burke, and this podcast is brought to you by Digital Training Institute. Coming up in today's show, in social media news, go live on Twitter, no need for Periscope, Snapchat introduces groups, Facebook rolls out live 360-degree video. I interview Zahid Aslam, lecturer in digital marketing at Cork Institute of Technology, about their new Masters in Digital Marketing Strategy. Shoutouts to 3 Digital Training Institute clients who have launched exciting digital campaigns, JSB's column, Planning Your Digital Year, and find out what social media tool saved JSB during the first working week of 2017.
Social media news.
I'm loving the new live option on Twitter. I have to admit, I haven't been a big Periscoper, and probably because initially I had to leave Twitter to go live. So with users now being able to go live straight from Twitter, I think it will encourage more people just like me to broadcast live in the moment. To go live, compose a tweet, then tap live, which brings you to a pre-broadcast screen where you can frame your shot. When you're ready, press go live to start broadcasting. Once you're live, anyone on Twitter and on Periscope can join your live video and participate in your experience. When you're watching a live video, comment and send hearts by tapping the screen. Hearts show your support for the broadcaster. I'm at Tweets by JSB, so be sure to follow me for many Twitter live broadcasts this year, and I'd love your hearts. Thank you, Snapchat, for introducing groups. I love my custom Facebook Messenger groups. So easy to communicate with the people in my personal and in my professional life. So I was equally excited with the news that Snapchat introduced groups, and our family swiftly set up our Snapchat group, aptly called Banterburks. Did you know you can have up to 16 people in your Snapchat group? Group chats self-delete after 24 hours by default, and snaps sent within a group can be opened only once and replayed only once by each member of the group, just like regular snaps. The new group feature also includes an easy way to chat with any one individual within the group, letting you tap on any member's name when they're active in a chat and jump into a one-to-one conversation. All features supported in chat are available in groups, such as stickers, video notes, and Bitmoji. Snapchat is also introducing a new scissors tool that lets you cut out part of a snap and make it into its own sticker. It will then be available to you in the stickers drawer. This is launching on iOS first, with an Android version coming later. Facebook has announced that they are giving us a new way to go live, Live 360. Many of us have been experimenting with Facebook Live throughout 2016 to get us closer to our community, but also, I guess, to give them an up-close and personal sense of us and our brand. 360 video is certainly more immersive, with viewers being brought fully into the scene, letting them explore on their own. To experience what Live 360 on Facebook is all about, have a look at the National Geographic Facebook page, which experimented with the technology over 80 days from the Mars Desert Research Station facility in Utah and the United States. Facebook says that Live 360 video will be available to more pages via the Live API in the coming months, but that they look forward to rolling it out more broadly for all pages and profiles in 2017. I'm certainly going to be trying out 360 Live this year as part of JSB's Digital Diaries vlog series, so watch out for that.
Interview.
In today's show, I'm delighted to be joined by Zahid Aslam, lecturer in digital marketing at Cork Institute of Technology. A seasoned digital practitioner, Zahid brings immense industry experience to bear to his third-level teaching role, with companies such as Thomson Reuters and Paddy Power in his portfolio. Zahid, you're very welcome to JSB Talks Digital. Thanks a million for joining me.
Hi, Joanne. Thanks for having me.
Firstly, I know many years ago the government and other agencies were talking about the huge skills gaps in Ireland. Do you think that skills gap still exists today in 2017?
Oh, I do, absolutely. Yeah, there's still a massive skills gap, and you see it in different areas. So, for example, if you're looking at the specialist roles like a pay-per-click or digital advertising specialists, those types of roles are really hard to fill at the moment. Similarly for SEO and so on. And I suppose on another side of it, what you also have is a lot of people who, for example, will know about social media. So they'll think, okay, I'm great at social media. I can do social media, or I can develop my own personal following very well. But then trying to kind of match that and those skill sets into a commercial role where, you have to actually be able to prove revenue as a result of the social media. There's a skill gap there as well.
And, a lot of people, as you say, are jumping into social media believing that they can, run accounts for businesses, for organizations based on using it for their own personal brand or their own personal profiling. Now, I've worked in communications for 15 years and moved from PR to marketing to digital. And a number of years ago, embarked on a 2 years master's degree in digital marketing. I guess for me, it was about trying to benchmark my knowledge in some way and prove that I was a practitioner worth her salt, if you like. Do you think that the academic route is really important for people who are serious about making a career in the digital marketing world?
I think what the academic route will always give you is a much broader picture than you can really get just working in particular roles. If you're working in an industry, you're either going to go in very deep or else you're going to kind of remain shallow, but there's always going to be areas that you're not exposed to. So a big role of academia is about kind of getting people to see the larger picture, the whole picture, and understanding where, for example, social media or where SEO, what have you, all fit into things, how engagement works, how usability on a website works, and so on. As well as that, I guess what academia is doing is it's really building in that kind of that rigorousness. When you're in commercial organizations, you're trying to be sort of relatively unbiased, you're trying to research, but you don't always get the time or the space to do that. Whereas with academia, it's built in. It's a must-have skill for academia.
Digital marketing, I often describe it as being very similar to medicine because it's so broad. How should we test our skills and knowledge, and is it possible for us to be an all-rounder in the field?
Oh, that's a good question. I think you can be, to a certain extent, an all-rounder at a certain level. And the classic example would be someone like a small business owner or somebody who's working in a relatively small business. And small business owners are great at this. They're great at becoming the all-rounders, the person who sort of, deals with a crotchety customer 1 minute and then is deep into accounting or tax or what have you the next minute. Increasingly, though, just the size of digital marketing means to have the depth of knowledge that you really do have to specialize. So if you're going for any sort of medium or large size company, I think you're going to end up specializing fairly fast.
Let's do some predictions right now. What digital marketing trends do you think will dominate this year?
There's a few that are going to come up. I think in terms of the social media, you're going to continue to see that sort of massive boom in the Facebook Live, Periscope, the live video type of space. Maybe House Party is going to kind of make its mark in there as well. And in that sort of area, I think it's going to be interesting to kind of see where and how it settles. So right now, it's a lot of people with a lot of hype, and I always think these things are kind of like they're like a small meteor or something kind of lands on Earth and there's a whole load of dust kind of gets kicked up. And you kind of almost have to wait until that dust settles before you really know what you've got and how you can use it. So I think, 2017 will be a lot about saying, this is beyond the hot stage now. This is kind of heading towards maturity in the same way, I guess, that maybe Instagram has done in 2016. In terms of other areas, I think Google are just starting to roll out Google Shopping in Ireland now after, having promised it so many years ago. So for SEO and for all search engine marketing, that's going to be massive if they continue to roll it out.
Now, talking about social media meteorites. 2016 was also an eventful year for us in the social media world. How do you think we'll look back on 2016 in 5 years' time?
So I think for me, the two standouts for 2016 were, first of all, it was really the year that Facebook finally did grow up and become a proper advertising platform, and kind of allied with that and the growth of Instagram. You've seen a maturity there and a kind of a real advertising proposition. And some people will have liked that, some people will have hated it, but everybody's kind of accepted it. I think for the other thing that's going to be the standout for 2016 is this whole concept of echo chamber and the fake news and all of that influence that so heavily influenced Brexit and it so heavily influenced the US elections. And I think in terms of that sort of concept, of the echo chamber concept, this idea that we're all living in our own filter bubbles and our own individual digital spaces where we're mainly interacting with people who just agree with us. I think 2016 will be kind of seen as the year that first really started to emerge as a concept and maybe the beginnings of how we get to grips with it, or at least I hope it's the beginnings of how we get to grips with it.
Now, in recent weeks, I've been, taking calls from organisations and companies as they look ahead to preparing their digital strategy for 2017. But what advice would you give to business owners who are hiring companies or outsourcing digital marketing? Like, what types of questions should they be asking to make sure that they get the right fit for their business?
Wow. Now, that's a hard one because a lot of people who are hiring digital marketing managers or digital marketing executives aren't digital themselves, and they're trying to fill that role, or it's a brand new role, so there's no kind of pre-existing structure there. I guess, in terms of the hiring thing, to start with, I think the traditional stuff, so the interviews is essential in terms of how you do the matching of the culture, how you get to know somebody and find out whether they're going to be a good fit. Other than that, I think what's really important in digital is to obviously, maybe I'm kind of stating the obvious here, but you've got to check out what somebody is doing digitally. So in terms of the people that are applying, what do their Twitter feed looks like? What is their what's their LinkedIn profile like? Are they blogging? Do they run their own website? If they're a graphic designer, do they have their portfolio up and all that sort of thing? The other thing that I really learned, and I really learned this when I was working at Paddy Power, is that when they brought in people, they used to test everybody. And that's something that I've kind of taken through as well. So after working in Paddy Power, I worked in an e-commerce agency called Studio 49 here in Cork. And for the last two hires that I made, I set them both mini tests. So it was of the sort where, for example, they'd be given a set of information about a particular event and asked to write a press release. And it didn't really matter whether they were asked to write a press release or whether it was a LinkedIn post or a Facebook post or whatever. It was just really about kind of testing their ability to say, okay, here is a set of facts. Can you draw a story out of it? Can you make a story that's compelling and engaging and, sort of being able to actually test their ability rather than get them to talk about that ability?
Yeah, great tips there. So let's move on to the new Masters in Digital Marketing Strategy at Cork Institute of Technology. Is it purely academic or is it industry-based? And tell us whether you can study online or if you really need to be full-time in Cork.
Okay, so I might do that in the reverse order then, because the second question is fast to answer. So we're launching this in February, and we're having our first intake in February, so only a few weeks away now. And we are looking to launch an online version from September 2017. So we'll see how that goes. The format of it hasn't really been nailed down yet, so I don't know whether it's going to be all purely online or whether it's going to be a mix of online with maybe a couple of days throughout the semester in Cork or so on. In terms of the kind of the industry focus, it's very much based on this idea of kind of a skills, so perhaps a strategy, skills, tactics type of hierarchy. So you're learning the overall strategy, and while you're doing things, But while you're doing that, you're also learning it in a very hands-on type of way. So one of the things that we're very keen on is that there's relatively little traditional assessment. So there's the odd essay here and the odd kind of multiple choice test there, but very little of it. Most of the assessment is either working with real companies in terms of, sort of a company comes in and they have particular problems, and as a small group of maybe 2 or 3 or 4 people, you're working with that company to solve their issues in this area. Or else it's working with the tools themselves. So it's things like you're building your own personal website, or you are developing a digital advertising campaign maybe for the company that you're working for, or so on.
I think that industry will really thank you for producing graduates with practical skills. So I think it's going to be hugely popular. How can people apply, Zed, and what is the entry criteria? Do you need to hold a primary degree to get into the master's program?
So for the master's degree, yes, you do. The main entry criteria is you need what's called a cognate degree. And that means basically a degree in business or marketing or some related subject. If you have a degree but not a cognate degree, you can still apply, and application is then done via an interview. Now, there is one other thing that I would say, which is we've actually been teaching the first part of this master's already for the last 2 and some years. So the way it's structured is that there's a 15-week course called the Certificate in Digital Marketing. And you can go and do just those 15 weeks, if you like. And that doesn't have that has less strict entry requirements around it, so there's no requirement for a degree. But then if you want to take that 15-week course, you can then take that, and that becomes your first semester. So the first semester is done and dusted at that point, and you can go on and do the rest of the masters as well.
Fantastic. So a few options for people who might be interested. What job prospects do you think are on the horizon for graduates with a master's in digital marketing? Will it give them the edge in the job hunting marketplace?
Well, I certainly hope it will, and I'm expecting it to. I think in terms of kind of the type of roles that you're going to see, or the type of people who are going to be coming through the system, well, I'm expecting it to be a few different types. First type of person that we see already is marketeers who are well into their marketing career but don't necessarily have the digital marketing side of it. So it's kind of traditional marketeers, or maybe somebody who's very much in the marcom space, or even in the market research space, or somewhere like that, and they're adding digital to their quiver, if you like. Another area that you do get is people who are very much into digital already, but maybe in something tangential or something very related. So, for example, it might be a graphic designer, or it might be somebody who's already doing social media as a job, but they don't really have the SEO or the web usability or the website conversion or the e-commerce type skills that they need to add to it. And then the third type of person really is the people who are looking for a complete career change. So, they've decided that this is what they want to do, and they're kind of breaking into the industry.
Well, we're at a perfect time of the year for people to start considering a change. And I know that investing in yourself through education, which is one of my passions, is something that people should certainly think about. If you are interested in finding out more about the Masters in Digital Marketing Strategy at Cork Institute of Technology, log on to cit.ie/MSc Dig Marketing. And Zed, thanks a million for joining me on the show today. It was great to have you.
Lovely. Thanks a lot, Joanne.
Shoutouts.
In this part of the show, I give shoutouts to individuals or brands who are remarkable online and worth talking about. All 3 shoutouts in today's show go to my clients. Bluebird Care, one of Ireland's leading home care companies, has launched their Bring Care Home campaign across television, radio, web and social media. The company is celebrating 10 years in business in Ireland, and this education marketing campaign is all about raising awareness of quality and safe home care provision. Home care is a realistic and affordable alternative to nursing home care, and it offers people of all ages and varying degrees of ability the choice to remain independent at home and active in their community. Be sure to check out Bluebird Care's TV ad on their YouTube channel and find out more about the campaign on bluebirdcare.ie. You will also catch the TV ad on Sky and TV3. PKF FPM is a leading chartered accountancy firm based in both Northern Ireland and the Republic of Ireland. They have launched a major recruitment drive with attractive packages on offer for qualified accountants and account technicians. The company currently holds the title of Ireland and the UK's Accountancy Employer of the Year, and in this campaign, they bring you behind the scenes of their business with the help of their staff. To find out more, log on to pkffpm.com. Southwest College, offering further and higher education, is a rural college with campuses across County Tyrone and Fermanagh in Northern Ireland. They have just launched their new blog, Way Out West, to help them showcase every facet of student life within and outside of the college. Their dedicated hashtag #WOW, is being used across social media, so be sure to check it out. You can also read their blog at blog.swc.ac.uk. If you want a shout out on the show, be sure to get in touch. Just send me a tweet to Tweets by JSB.
JSB's column.
Planning your digital year in 6 simple steps. I've been getting lots of calls and requests from companies over the past number of weeks in relation to planning their digital strategy for 2017. With this in mind, I decided to set out 6 simple steps that you might take to help you clearly plan your digital marketing activities for the year ahead. This is in no way comprehensive, but it is a firm set of steps to take to get you out of the blocks, if you like. So step number 1, set your business objectives. What do you want to achieve this year that is directly resulting from your digital activities? Is it recruitment of talent, a deeper digital footprint after years of ignoring digital? Maybe it's straightforward winning new business. Perhaps it's about building trust and credibility with content marketing. Are you new to social media and want to use it to have a presence where your customers are converging? Or will 2017 mean ramping up digital to the next level? Whatever your business objectives, start by writing them down now. Step number 2, set your budget. Let's face it, Facebook is free to use, as is Twitter and LinkedIn, Pinterest and YouTube, Snapchat and Instagram. But are they really? You need to go into 2017 with your realistic spectacles on and assign a budget to cover all or some of the following: content creation, graphic design, web development, web management, training, social and digital advertising, attendance at digital conferences and events, software as a service, staffing, and that includes your time. If you really want digital to work for your business, then you must invest in it. Taking a cheap and cheerful approach will probably deliver next to no results. Step 3, establish team and outsourced roles and responsibilities. You should start the year with an audit of the skills in-house and assigning key roles and responsibilities. It's important to say that it's impossible to have one person who can complete all the digital tasks that your business may need. So you need to build in a digital team around you, which might be a mix of in-house staff plus outsourced support. Step 4, hold an editorial hackathon. I advise you to hold a half-day editorial thinking. Plan out your content year. What stories will you tell, and on what platforms will those stories be told? We have so many options open to us now in the digital age that it can be quite daunting. So, brainstorming with your team and maybe with some outside help will set you in good stead when creating your final content marketing strategy. Blog posts, social and live video, podcasts, webinars, ebooks, infographics, social media graphics, there's so much to think about. Step 5, schedule your training plan. Invest in training. I am constantly upskilling and I pay for it also. Digital is moving at such a speed that you need to factor in training for you or for your team members. This could be 4 full days or 8 half days throughout the year. Spread them out over the 12 months so that you are maximising the new trends that evolve in social and digital during the year. Finally, step number 6, set down reporting timeframes. You should establish reporting goals. For example, monthly performance results, quarterly strategic review, mid-year review, and an end-of-year review. Depending on the nature of your business or your organisation, you may also need daily or weekly reports, so make sure you establish those timeframes now. I hope my 6 steps has given you some guidance on how you can start planning your digital year. If you have any more questions or would like me to help you, simply drop me an email to joanne@digitaltraining.ie. In the meantime, happy digital planning.
Social media tool of the week.
Do you know that Twitter tools are guaranteed to make your Twitter marketing more effective and you more efficient? With 320 million active monthly users, Twitter is a great place to build brand profile and powerful business relationships. 36% of businesses say they have won business directly from Twitter, and I'm one of them. But the social media tool that saved my working week kills 2 birds with 1 stone, 1 Twitter bird and 1 blogging promotion bird. I'm a weekly blogger, and to generate more views for my posts, I use the Tweet This WordPress plugin. But guess what? It also helps me gain new Twitter followers. The Tweet This plugin captures key quotes of 140 characters or less from your blog post, and with 1 click, it will tweet it out to your Twitter account. You decide which quotes are tweetable. I recommend using 3 to 5 of these in a long-form blog post of between 1,000 to 1,500 words. Have a look at the digitaltraining.ie blog to see the Tweet This tool in action. Will you add it to your blog? Thanks as always for tuning in to JSB Talks Digital. Wow, I can't believe we are in 2017. I would like to take this opportunity to wish you all a fantastic year of digital and social media success ahead. To ensure you never miss an episode of JSB Talks Digital, subscribe on your smartphone on iTunes or Stitcher. You can also subscribe on SoundCloud. Give me 20 minutes of your time each week in 2017, and in return, I will empower you with digital marketing and social media knowledge, all for absolutely free. If you're interested in becoming a guest on JSB Talks Digital or have an event you want to promote, drop me an email to joanne@digitaltraining.ie. If there's a topic you want me to cover, tweet me to Tweets by JSB or snap me at JSB Snaps. I'm Joanne Sweeney-Burke. This has been JSB Talks Digital. Thanks for listening, and I'll talk to you soon.
JSB Talks Digital.